Hi everybody, Jane here, and I wanted to tell you about Read an Ebook Week. On Smashwords this week, you can get free and heavily discounted books from March 7th to March 13th. Smashwords is a free-to-join site. You just have to create a login and enter, I believe, an email address, and you can have access to lots and lots of books, largely by indie authors, throughout the site. Even when they're not running a sale, there are often free and heavily discounted books. This is a great resource for people who really love to read ebooks. I'm especially excited about the sale because several of my books are going to be on sale. And I did want to kind of talk about those books in case you're new here and don't know about the books I've written and would like to give any of my books a try. They are free as an ebook version. So the first set of books, it's 4 books in the series, called After the Explosion. This is the first book in the series, called Educating Autumn, and this is actually the prequel book to it as well, Singing the Last Song. This one here, Singing the Last Song, is not a romance, but it shows how we get to the post-apocalyptic world in Educating Autumn. Educating Autumn and the 2 other books currently out in the series, which are Desiring the Doctor and His Doctor in Training, are all 3 romances. This is a dystopian, post-apocalyptic world where technology has been more or less outlawed and women have very few rights. A couple people have compared it kind of similar to A Handmaid's Tale as far as the setting, not necessarily the romance. So we have Autumn here, who has taught herself to read, even though that is forbidden to women. And we have Orion, who knows that she can read and decides that that is exactly the kind of woman he wants as a wife. So, since this is a post-apocalyptic world and women don't have many rights, he does what any smart man would do and goes and talks to her father to see if he can buy her as a wife. The other books in the series are romances involving side characters in this book. So this is the first book you'd want to start here, and then from there possibly read how they got there in Singing the Last Song, and then Desiring the Doctor and His Doctor in Training. So I do recommend the series. It is the first series I ever wrote. The next book that is free during the sale is my historical romance, Wedding the Widow. This book follows 2 different romances of women who are heading west for very different reasons. One woman, Sophie, is heading west to meet a husband she has not yet met, and Charlotte is heading west with her husband. However, on the trail west, her husband dies, and she is left pregnant, widowed, and unable to continue the journey west herself. She then meets a man in town who agrees to take her on as a wife. He is Augustus, and he has lost a leg, which has made him feel as if he is not a good romantic partner, prospect, but she's so in need, and he is the kind of guy who needs to help people. So you got their romance, and then you also have the romance between Sophie and Ezra. Sophie, as I said, is a mail order bride, and Ezra has decided he needs a wife to help with his father, not necessarily because he's a romantic and just wants to fall in love. But romance ensues. The next book I have is a bit on the shorter side. It is the only short story I've done that I've turned into a paperback, and it is Her Forever Husband. As I said, it's a very short read. This is about a woman who is having these dreams about a man, and she is pretty sure that there's something up with these dreams. She's engaged to be married to another man, and she's wondering if these dreams are telling her maybe that engagement isn't the best of ideas. The last book that I'm going to talk about today, that again is free this week, is my fantasy young adult novel, and that is Secrets of Arias. This book is about a princess who has telepathy, And unfortunately, that gift of telepathy has been making her very ill. She learns that her father and brother are going to send her off to marry a stranger, and her brother has some rather bad intentions for this marriage. When she gets to her new home, the prince is not exactly excited to marry her, Prince Rojan, and he has a few secrets of his own. And one of those secrets involves dragons. So that is actually the first YA book I've ever written. It is, of the ones I've mentioned, the only one that doesn't have any steamy bits. So if you want to give me a try but are not into steamy bits and enjoy fantasy, I recommend Secrets of Arash in this. So those are the books, some of the books anyway, that I have free this week for the read-in ebook sale at Smashwords. Again, I will link the Smashwords below, and I will link my books on Smashwords below. So I hope you check it out, and I hope you pick up a few books that you really, really can fall in love with. I will totally be picking up books as well. I am personally not much of an ebook reader. I really like my physical copies, but I'm going to support the authors on there and pick up a few books that I am so excited and think I will love. I've already grabbed a few. So that's how I know I'm going to do that, because I've already grabbed a few, but I had to stop and decided I was going to film this, and then I'm going to go buy more books. So talk to you guys later. My social media is below as well. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.